Welcome, my name is Steve Kaliski of 21centurywhips.com, and thank you for purchasing the fire starter Apocalypto. This is what I have here in my hand. Nice wooden box. Before I get to the contents of it, I'll give you a little history on fire piston starters. Fire pistons were invented in Malaysia 1,500 years ago, and in the latter centuries, like in the 17th or 18th century, they came to the West, and a man named Rudolf Diesel learned from that, which inspired him to invent the diesel engine. It all ignites fuel by compression. So that is a nice history to learn there. Now on with contents. Now you notice how it's packed. You need to know this in the order that I take it out, and in the order is repacked. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of frustrations. Okay. The first item is your extractor. That's used for pulling material out of your barrel. And like if you get something stuck in, like char cloth, lost char cloth, or a piece of cleaning patch, that will do that for you. Second is your barrel. This is your barrel that is made out of rolled steel, gun blued. Has a service bolt on the end of it. Do not remove this bolt. Otherwise, your warranty will be voided. Okay. This is your cleaning rod. Put a patch on that, and that cleans the bore of your barrel. Fourth is your piston, or your plunger, whatever you want to call it. It has a cavity at the top to put char cloth in there, or any other amber material. Has a O-ring to seal. Has a nice wooden ball handle. And it's made out of steel. Of course, keep it from getting rusted is very important. The fifth is your jute cord. You get 3 feet of jute cord, and one part of it is about a foot of it is processed to make a bird's nest. I'll put this in and take a regular piece of jute cord, and I will put it for you and show how it's done. Now what I have here is an Altoids tin. Here, before I get into the contents, I'm going to tell you what this thing's function is. You put a hole right in that O there, small hole. We'll use like a little tiny punch, but don't use your pinprick. Just use a tiny punch. Put a tiny hole in there, about an eighth of an inch hole. Excuse me. And then you put your material like denim or cotton, and then you cook that in the fire for 8 minutes. Okay, at least. And it should turn to char cloth. You will notice that flames will come out of the hole there. That's the CO gas coming out of it. Now, inside the char cloth package, inside the Altoids kit, we have a lubricant for your O-rings and your spare O-rings. These O-rings are 11/32 of an inch outside diameter and 7/32 inch inside diameter. You can buy that at any plumbing store, hardware store, home center, like Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. But you got the size. This is what you need for your O-rings for your plunger. They will last a very long time. Each O-ring can give you well over 100 burns if you take care of it properly. Next is your pin prick. This has a very sharp needle on there. I took a piece of tape on it to cover it. It's made out of hard steel. You can use that to pop out your amber out of your plunger, or pop out the O-ring to replace a new O-ring. You know, and put a little hole in the top of your, I'm going to get this closer to you, for your capsule for your oil. Okay, just put a little hole on that. And then I have a paper clip in this package. You fold that tube and you put your paper clip on that, and that will keep it sealed and not leak out from you. And these are your patches. These cleaning patches are made out of paper towel, cut into 1.5 to 2 inch squares. You have 10 each. So this is what you go by. You can cut them a little bigger, no more than 2 inches if this is too small, and you have means to clean your bore with. Next, going into is your cutting and scraping tool here. It has a bevel edge, as you see it. It is quite sharp. It can cut you, yeah, but it's not like a knife or anything like that. But for scraping fat wood off of a pine, or making any type of a processing to soften up materials for a bird's nest, this does come in handy. You can lay ambers on top of it just in case the ground is wet or something like that. You don't want to lay it on dirt. You want to lay it on something like this. But before you lay on this, because it's cold metal, you want to put something like a leaf or a piece of material on it that won't cause it to drain out the heat. Because ambers are pretty sensitive, and even coolness can cause them to go out. So take that in consideration. I pull this out, and this is the bottom of the tin. So the cutting tool goes right here in the bottom. Now, last but not least is your char material in your cloth. This is what starts fires. First thing, let me get this box out of the way. I'm going to unroll this. And what we have is a piece of denim. It's 6 inch by 3 inch cut. This is what you want to cut your cotton or denim. It has to be cotton or denim. Cannot be polyester or any synthetic like nylon woven into the fabric, because if you use it, it won't work. It'll mess up your tin, and it won't work as a fire starter. So do not use any materials other than cotton or denim. Denim is the best. Okay? And when you use your denim to make char cloth, you just roll it like this, make 2 of them, and put them in your container and put it in the fire. So you have a piece of denim. If you have old jeans, or you can go to a fabric store, whatever, and buy you some denim. It's very cheap, and you can cut these out and have them ready when it comes to it. Now, this is the most important thing, is from that piece of denim is your char cloth. And this is what it looks like. If you can see it. It leaves a black stain on it. And all it takes is a very little bit to ignite a fire. It takes about 1/4 inch to go into the plunger, and it takes about 1/2 inch of it square to go into your tinder, and that will set off your tinder and start your fire. So now we're going to put this back, and to put your char cloth in. When you're storing char cloth, you want to fold it in. If you see inside your denim, fold it like so. Pull it around. I'm going to change the dimension a little bid. Made the folds too thin. Now, I want to make the fold about the thickness of your packet, because if you make it too thin, it bulges up and it's hard to store the rest of the other materials inside your container. So make sure your fold is wide enough to fit it, and not too wide to fit in your little plastic package. This also helps keep moisture out of your materials, and also it protects your char cloth from moisture, because you can't make a lot of char cloth to store because it has a tendency to pick up moisture, especially if you live in zone areas like Florida. It's very humid, and we have to take these in consideration. Of course, you probably get away with it easier if you live in a desert or something like that, but here we have a lot of humidity. Okay, if I can get this in here without, where I can fully seal it, squeeze all the air out of it. Now we can place it back into the container. And we put our cloth, our cleaning patches, put our lubricant, and it goes right here. I'll put it right on top like so. Put your pinprick in like this. See how it is. Make sure everything's inside. Close the container. Set it back into its place in the case. Put your G-cord in there. Of course, it's always good to get all the air out of there when you seal it. Makes it easy to package it. You can put your, here, cleaning rod back into the barrel. Your piston and your extractor. Now your extractor has a curved hook. If you notice how it's curved, you want the curved side down over the rod here. And it should look like this. And you are ready to close it. And this is the end video on your Apocalypto fire starter. Next video, I'm going to demonstrate how to start a fire.